Shirota is a quiet, lonely high school boy with no friends. Every day of his life is very boring until one day, while eating lunch alone in a storage room, a girl suddenly walks in, startling him, and he quickly hides. To his surprise, the girl is none other than Takamine, the student council president. She's considered the goddess of the school, perfect in every way, always at the top of the class in both academics and sports. To Shirota's shock, she suddenly starts changing and puts on a bra, leaving him panicked and confused about why she hadn't already been wearing one. Later that day, in class, Shirota can't stop thinking about what had just happened. Just then, the teacher calls his name and hands him his exam paper. Shirota is pleasantly surprised to see that he scored higher than expected, and when it's Takamine's turn to receive her paper, the entire class is shocked since her score isn't perfect this time. Without warning, Takamine suddenly removes her underwear, and everyone around her seems to freeze in time except Shirota, who watches in disbelief. Before he can fully process what's happening, time appears to reverse itself. This time, when the exam papers are handed out, Takamine receives a perfect score. Wanting to know what's really going on, Shirota decides to confront Takamine and tell her what he saw. When she realizes this, Takamine figures out that Shirota must have seen her bare chest in the storage room. However, instead of getting angry, she acts unusually friendly and offers him a drink of water. This only makes Shirota more nervous, and he accidentally spills the water on her, but she quickly dodges it. Feeling bad, Shirota immediately tries to clean up the mess. Takamine, seeing the opportunity, decides it's the perfect time to explain her ability. She casually removes her bra, and time reverses again. This time, the water ends up spilling on her instead. Shirota, completely confused, asks her why she did that. In response, she places his hand on her chest, revealing that her bra is gone. She then explains that her ability is called Eternal Virgin Road, which allows her to undo events whenever she removes her underwear. Curious, Shirota asks where the bra goes, and she simply tells him that it just vanishes. She adds that anyone who has seen her bare chest will retain their memories of what happened before time was reversed. When Shirota asks how she got that ability, Takamine explains that it manifested after a minor incident in her past. Back in 5th grade, during the school's athletic festival, she was the anchor for her team in the relay race. She was supposed to pass the lead runner and finish in first place. However, the bento she had eaten before the race had gone bad, causing stomach pain that slowed her down, and she ended up finishing second. She couldn't accept the outcome. The humiliation overwhelmed her, and in the midst of it, she lost control of her bladder. Out of desperation, she removed her underwear, and that's when her ability activated for the first time, allowing her to reverse time and win the race. Takamine believes her power must have manifested because she's destined to always be number one. Takamine then tells Shirota the reason she shared all of this with him is because she wants him to become her personal assistant, or more specifically, her closet. Since her underwear vanishes every time she uses her ability, she needs someone to carry spare underwear for her at all times, follow her wherever she goes, and help her change when needed. Shirota is completely overwhelmed and thinks the request is insane. He then turns to leave the room, but just then, Takamine trips him, causing him to fall on top of her. She immediately begins to scream, accusing him of pushing her down against her will. Hearing the commotion, other students rush in and pin Shirota to the ground. Even the police arrive at the scene. Realizing he has no choice, Shirota reluctantly agrees to her request and begs her to reverse time. Takamine smiles and happily does so. Afterwards, she gives Shirota his very first job, helping her put on a new pair of underwear. Though embarrassed, Shirota can't refuse and reluctantly agrees. Noticing that he closes his eyes while doing it, Takamine teases him, saying she knows he's only pretending not to look, but deep down, he really wants to, and adds that she's looking forward to having him as her closet. If you come this far, please consider liking and subscribing for more videos like this. Thank you.